Good morning, everyone. Good morning from Phuket, guys. I'm at Freedom Beach. Let me put my sunglasses on, guys. Although it's not sunny, but guys, it is roughly like 10:30 in the morning, and I just walked from Patong all the way to Freedom Beach. I'm sure if you're following me for a while, you can go back to my videos and see how you can get here, because there's 2-3 different ways, and there is a freeway. So the freeway is, you need to walk through the jungle pretty much. It is not easy. Maybe when I'm going back, I'll film it for you guys to see what is the journey. It is not easy. Make sure have a good shoes, I mean sneakers. With the flip-flop, you're going to have a really difficult time, guys, really. So guys, I'm at the Freedom Beach. This is one of the most beautiful beach. It is small, but it's just one of the most beautiful beach in Phuket. I truly believe that. First of all, it's very private. It is very clean, but it's just not easy to get here. And if you want a little bit easy way, there is a way that you have to pay 100 baht, but still make sure have a really good shoes, because there is a lot of hiking involved. So this is not one of those beaches that you're gonna just put your bikini on and come here. No, it is not. So there's a lot of hiking involved, and if you like this kind of stuff, yes, this is the beach for you, because it's very private. But today is absolutely dead, guys. Look at it. Altogether is not even 10 people here. Phuket is absolutely dead everywhere. Well, I'm sure you guys watching the YouTubes, now there's a new content that every single YouTuber on daily basis coming up with the new content that tourism is dead in Thailand. Tourism is dead in Thailand. I'm sure you guys hear that on daily basis. Okay, first of all, I want to sit somewhere and talk to you guys, because I'm hitting rock bottom, guys, and I'm tired. I'm tired of a lot of things. Okay, maybe you guys gonna say, why you traveling, you know, you're going to the places. Guys, traveling is not easy. Yes, I had one of the most beautiful experience of my life, and I'm sure if you're watching my video, you know I'm dead honest. I don't sugarcoat, but obviously I have to few things that I'm going to discuss why I'm doing it. So look at it, guys. Like, you're going to say, okay, well, look at it, where you staying, where you going. Like every day you are next to the beach, you are next to the somewhere in the beautiful city, you're trying different foods, you know. Yes, but one thing that I gotta tell you, I'm really in stress financially. I'm not saying like I don't have money to continue. No, that's not the point, guys. The point is, one of the my recommendation for everybody, if you want to do this journey, because traveling from one hotel to another hotel, one city to another city, it is not easy, guys. Sometimes it just drives you absolutely insane. And also in my case, I was thinking, okay, if I have a YouTube channel, maybe I can support some of my expenses. I know YouTube is not easy. If you go to YouTube, guys, now there is a million travel channel, you know, with all kind of different background, accent, different countries, from Europe, from Australia. You can relate to anybody in travel, YouTube travelers. You know, now there is a couples that now they have a kid, so on and so forth. Like, there is billion. Some of these YouTubers making unbelievable money, unbelievable. Some of them is just like they have 3, 4, 5 million subscribers or 2 million subscribers, and whatever these guys do, it just The next day you see 200, 300,000 views, 100,000 likes. Sometimes as a YouTuber, especially in my case that I'm struggling, I'm just trying to find a way to make myself successful, we copycat each other. You know, we copy. For example, there's a guy I don't want to name. You know, he walks here and there. Obviously, he has a lot of subscribers and people love him. I like him too. I really is a straight shooter. He walks somewhere, he drinks beer, he goes and cuts his hair, and he has like 200 million views. Not 200 million, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So this guy's making really good money. Never mind, these guys can support their travel journey. Obviously, they're making money on the side too, you know, it's just like a job for them. But most of the YouTubers are struggling, and some of them making enough for their travel journey. Enough for travel, because the way that YouTube pays, I don't know, in my case is a joke. Absolutely joke. For example, I have a video that I uploaded last night, and I went to few bars, guys, in Patong. I got the yellow icon. Yellow icon means I'm gonna make zero money, zero. Because that's not suitable for advertising according to YouTube. So, which means something you're trying to be copycat other people. You're trying to say, okay, well, why my YouTube channel is not growing? Why I'm not getting views? Sometimes you copycat, you know, you see, okay, well, this guy's going to the bar and they have 100,000 views. So you do the same thing. And when you do the same thing, you get the yellow icon. So yellow icon means I'm not making any money. Zero, zilch, nada. So what I'm trying to say, guys, like when you're traveling, obviously, especially in my case, because I don't stay in the room with 20 other people, I don't spend crazy amount of money, but my accommodation, food, basic things. I don't go to the bar, I don't go to the club. Sometimes I'm pretending to go in these places just to get the view. That's honest things. Personally, like when I'm not outside filming somewhere, jungle or the beaches or the bar, I'm in my room. So in my real life, like when I'm not from the camera, so sometimes you copycat. You say, okay, why my channel is not growing? You go to the bar, you film the bar, you get yellow icon. So you see, it's just like a disappointment. You see, like it's just like sometimes you get up in the morning and you see that yellow icon. You say, okay, what should I do? When I'm going to the beach, when I'm hiking, for example, I wasn't motivated to film the journey that I walked from Patong to here because I did it twice and people not watching it. And that's including hiking. You see, like you have to go top of there, guys. Like I come from all the way from the top to the bottom here. It is easy, not easy. Absolutely not easy. Come and try. But you know, to me, it's just like, okay, that's really nice. Look at how I'm sweating. You know, I love it. So I did it twice, you guys not watching. So sometimes you get confused. What should I do next? Okay, obviously, some people, they have a little bit easy way. You know, I'm not a white person. You know, I don't have a white privilege. I don't have a blue eyes. You know, those guys, they get in a little bit easier time. But that doesn't mean some of the YouTubers that they have no accent, they have a sexy accent, British accent or Australian accent or whatever accent that people like. You know, that doesn't mean, you know, those guys getting successful. No. I see a lot of them, you know, with the six-pack, good looking, no, you know, Middle Eastern accent or whatever accent, sexy accent. They're not doing anything. They have a little bit easier time than me, but they're not doing anything. So the bottom line is, the YouTube now is full of travel YouTubers. That's why when I get up in the morning, I'm saying, okay, what I'm doing with my life? You know, how long I'm going to continue to spend from my savings? Because I'm not in 70s, you know, say who cares? But in the other hand, after COVID, I decided to not think about money. Because I thought, okay, well, you look at it, everybody is dying around me. A lot of my family members died. A lot of people that I know in Canada died because of COVID. And with all these diseases and the cancer and everything else, for example, in Canada, every time that you go to your family doctor, guys, the first question is, do you have any family member that passed away with cancer? And my dad passed away from cancer. So when I said that last time, 4 years ago, when I was in my family doctor, and she was looking at me, oh, what? Your dad passed away from cancer? Yes, my father passed away from cancer. It's just like they talk to you somewhere that, okay, you're gonna get the cancer, you're gonna die too. So for that reason, after COVID, I decided, okay, enough is enough. I'm going through depression. I'm fighting this depression for a long time. I did what I had to do. I've become successful. Now it's time for me to find a different way of life. Yes, this travel really makes me happy. It just like helped me with a lot of things in my life. It is not easy because you are always alone, lonely. And then you go into different country, you know, there is a lot of fake news. You know, you're going to find the girls here in Thailand, you're going to find, it's just the cultural differences, language differences. And I don't know where these people finding these nice girls that I can. For example, here in Patong, since I arrived here, I have 100 matches, guys. But there is different style here. For example, in Pattaya, as soon as you match, you say you freelance, they say yes. Okay, have a nice day. But here, no, they don't say I'm freelance. All of them say, oh, I have a job, I'm working. Okay, where you working? I'm working in a hotel, I'm working in the restaurant, I'm working here, I'm working there. Okay, no problem. So what time you finish? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, no problem. So if you want to meet me, we can grab a coffee, whatever. So all of a sudden, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you're getting message. Oh, I'm going to work. Oh, really? Or I just returned from work. Oh, really? What kind of job is that? That, you know, you're working 1, 2, 3 o'clock, middle of the night. So this is the style. Oh, I got messed up here, guys. Let me sit here. So this is the style that I find here. You know, like here they don't tell you straightforward that I'm freelance, but you know, somehow, like, what the hell are you doing 2 o'clock? And why are you going to work at 12 o'clock midnight? It just doesn't make sense. And sometimes they are so confused that they don't know who you are. You know, sometimes I get the message because they use translate app, most of these girls. So, for example, sometimes I get the response in German. I say, I'm not German, I'm English. I speak English. I say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't change my Google Translate. So it means this person was talking to somebody else in German language 2 seconds ago. So you see that it's just tough. I don't mean like it is extremely tough, because if you live somewhere, you know, permanently, like let's say for 1 year, 2 years, probably you're going to have a much easier time than somebody like me that 1 week here, 2 weeks there, 3 weeks here, 4 weeks there. In my case, it's just like the girls, either you get really lucky to get hooked up, or, you know, most of them, they're going to say I'm a freelance, or they're going to somehow just drag this for 2 days, and after that they're going to say, oh, I need money, and yada yada yada. So this is the situation. So pretty much you are lonely all the time. Some people, I find that they got lucky and find a travel partner. You know, some of these travel, you know, they had that opportunity to meet another foreigners. Now they match and traveling together. I believe that's nice, because you're not alone all the time. But the chance is like teeny tiny, guys, because you have to find the right person for you. Everybody is right, but it's just right person for you, because all of us different. So for those reasons, guys, and another thing is that really I'm hitting rock bottom in this YouTube. As I said, I don't lie, I don't sugarcoat, but sometimes I copycat. I'm trying to copycat. I mean, like when I see somebody going to the bar and talking to 2 girls and they have 20, 30,000 views, I'm thinking, okay, what the hell? I can do the same thing. And you get the yellow icon. Then you go into the nature and you do a lot of walking, and you know, you go through the really difficult journey of hiking. Nobody interested, nobody. Oh, I don't know, in my case, nobody. And it seems to people want to just watch bar, massages, prostitution, especially in Thailand. For example, I had few really nice video about hiking and some places that foreigners, their chance to find those places in Indonesia is teeny tiny, unless you're one of those backpackers that really into adventure and hiking and stuff like that. Because when I was in Bandung, I met the girl that she was fitness trainer, and she loved the nature, she loved the hiking, and she went everywhere before than me. She knew every single places because she was into that lifestyle. She didn't do it for me, she was into that kind of lifestyle, like with all her friends before, and then they did a lot of strange hiking and really tough hiking, those places that even I didn't go because you need a planning and you need a group of people to go there. Sometimes it takes about one day, you go up there and you sleep, and the next day you come back because it wasn't a small journey. So she did all these things. So when I come across, so she took me there with all these places, some of the places with the private car. And sometimes we had to drive 3 hours, 2 hours to get there. With the local girl that she went there maybe 100 times in her life. But for somebody, backpacker or tourist, to find those places, probably your chance is like zero zilch unless you really, really sharp of, into that kind of adventure. Because, some of the places was extremely remote. Why I'm saying, so for example, when I'm going back, I'm looking at those videos, people not watching. So that's why you reach rock bottom. You say, okay, what I'm doing wrong? Like what is it that, okay, in YouTube, when you're showing all this, bars and whatever, you get yellow icon. When you're doing some sort of adventure, nobody watching. So you see that, and it just like, and another thing is like, obviously YouTube is the free platform. Everybody going there, uploading their content. So some people like it, some people don't. So that's the obvious things. Like this is the way it is. Like you cannot ask people to like you. Either people like you or not. Some stuff against you. Color of your skin, your accent. Your personality maybe. Maybe you are straightforward. You're not lying, you're not bullshitting. Because one thing that I find out in YouTube, guys, pretty much a lot of YouTubers that they have a really big audience or they're doing very well, they lie a lot. They pick, for example, there's a new subject now in YouTube. Thailand tourism is collapsing. Few YouTubers every single day, guys, this is the guys that are living here. Every single day they have a content sitting somewhere and talking about economy is collapsing here, the tourism is collapsing. So this is the situation in Thailand. For example, when somebody finds the content that a lot of people watching, there's a high view. So every single other YouTuber copying that, say, okay, I want to pick up share of that. And that's normal, like everybody wants to take share of something in life. So now, for example, what I'm saying, like sometimes YouTube get exaggerated with one content. For example, now new content in YouTube that everybody talking about Thailand economy is collapsing, Thailand tourism is collapsing, and everything expensive. That's true. I don't know about the economy, I'm not an economist, but the tourism, I see it. There's nobody. Prices? Yes. I feel it every single day. It is getting absolutely insane. Now in Patong, there's nobody. My hotel is absolutely empty. I guess in my floor, there's only 2 other people occupied with me, but the price is sky high. So, yes, that's true, I believe. But, what I'm saying, like when one YouTuber or 2 YouTuber or 3 YouTuber getting a lot of views in one content, everybody copying. Even now there's a lawyer in Vietnam and he used to live in United States. He's originally from Vietnam. He has a really knowledgeable content because he's a lawyer. He lives now in Vietnam and he helps people with the business, with the immigration and everything else. So obviously he's a lawyer, he has a deep knowledge, he's educated. Now even he was comparing Vietnam and Thailand tourism. And I was watching yesterday and he was saying, no, this information is not accurate because Vietnam pays some of the YouTubers to advertise Vietnam, that everybody moving to Vietnam from Thailand, and Thailand the tourism is collapsing. Yes, if you go look at the bottom numbers, yes, dropping by 20% or so on and so forth. Maybe more, maybe less. Some people say 16%, some people say 20%. This is the average that I'm getting in YouTube. Some of them says 40%, some people say 60%. I don't believe that amount. For example, they say 60% of Chinese tourists. So I don't know, there's a lot of numbers, but don't count on me on these numbers. This is the numbers that I see online. But I'm saying, like, when people, even a YouTuber lawyer in Vietnam, when he sees there's a lot of people watching this kind of content, even he's comparing Vietnam to Thailand. There's nothing wrong with it. But what I'm trying to say, one content from one or two YouTubers that originally they make that content, not every single person making that content. So, and that content gets exaggerated. Some of them exaggerated, some of them wrong information. Everybody says something, you know, it just you don't know what is accurate. You know, every day I'm watching this because every time that I'm going to my YouTube, I see this video that somebody talking about Thailand, tourism is collapsing and the price is going up. Yeah, that's true. I feel it. I feel it. That's 100% true. But how much that information and percentage is accurate, I don't know. Because those information is not in front of me. So when the content gets exaggerated on YouTube, so obviously for some of these big YouTubers, it just YouTube push those content up front. For example, if you want to, you know, search about Thailand tourism collapse, probably my YouTube channel is not going to pop up. There's millions of them that they have a really huge audience and a lot of views. So obviously YouTube pushing those ones. So imagine now, like a lot of YouTubers now doing travel. So in order for a small YouTuber like me, that I have a lot of things against me, you know, color of my skin, my accent, even one racist prick says to me, oh buddy, I like you, but you should change your your name, because you say Hamid's Travel, so that's from Middle East. So he didn't like my name because I'm originally from Middle East. So that's true, you know, a lot of people against it, you know, I feel it, you know. I grew up in Canada, you know. I spent few years of my life in Iran, and most of my life, 75% of my life, out of Iran. So I totally understand that there is a huge problem in Western countries with the Muslim and Muslim names and everything else. So although I'm not religious and I passed that things, you know, like I went through a lot of racism in Canada, that it doesn't bother me anymore. It doesn't bother me, but that affects your channel, because imagine that one racist prick says, send me a comment like this guy's, oh, I like you buddy, but your name, Hamid's Travel, you should change it. I never do that. Yeah, I had another name and everybody says you have to change it to your name or something else, and I change it to my real name. I don't want to pretend to somebody else, because one of the reasons that it just bothers me, like every morning I get up in the morning, sometimes I make the content that I'm not happy because I'm pretending to be somebody else. I'm just trying to get more audience. I act crazy, I do this stuff. That is not me, it is not me. But I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm way too honest. Maybe I'm very straightforward. I have to adapt myself to the business of lie, business of fake news, the business of providing fake information, and so on and so forth. But you get up in the morning and you're not happy with yourself, because you say, oh shit, you know, I made this content. Now people judging me and they think, okay, this guy is like this. It is not me. You're just copycatting. And because you struggling When you're struggling, you're trying to find a way. And when you're trying to find a way, sometimes you find the right way, sometimes you find the wrong way. Some stuff works for you, some stuff doesn't work for you. But that's the way it is. When you're struggling in anything in life, you're trying to find the answer. And some of this answer is just you building it in your head. Oh, I should act like this. Maybe brings more audience. Should I do this? But you get up in the morning and you're not happy. Especially for somebody like me, because I grew up by myself. You know, I went to Canada with absolutely nobody. Nobody. I had zero, zilch, nada support. Financial support or emotional support from like people in Canada, because I didn't have nobody. I had one cousin, he was in his own life in Montreal. Yeah, I saw him a few times, but he was in his own life, you know, like he was adapted to Canadian life after 4 years living there. He was into his own business. So I didn't have nobody. I had to struggle, I have to work hard, I have to act like I'm 15 years old, but I have to act like I'm 30 years old. I have to manage my budget, I have to work, I have to pay my rent, I have to put myself in the school, I have to put myself in university, I have to work. I did all, especially for somebody like me that is independent from really young age. So to act some other way is just really bad. Like I get up in the morning, sometimes I say, no, I have to stick to who I am, what I am, and I have to film what I really enjoy. Because when I'm acting something else, first of all, who cares? Maybe there's a lot of views, but the bottom line is you're not happy with yourself. And the YouTube does that to people, you know, does that because, you know, when I'm looking at a lot of YouTubers that picking on one content and a lot of them is just a lie. There is another, for example, YouTuber, he keep every single content that he's making. His YouTube channel is extremely younger around my age of YouTube, but he has roughly more than my subscriber, maybe 20 times more. He don't have too much, he has like 20, 30,000 subscribers, but every single YouTube content that he has, you know, come to Thailand, come to Southeast Asia and leave with $1,000, leave with $700. And I was watching and I was thinking to myself, why these people doing this? Because that's not accurate. Why is not accurate? You know, you can live with $1,000, yes. But it is not $1,000 lifestyle for everybody. For example, in my case, I busted my ass. I had a beautiful condo in downtown Toronto next to CN Tower. I was one of my really, like when I was a playboy in Canada, guys, in Toronto, one of my, you know, benefits that like every single girl that was coming to my house and, you know, they don't want to leave me alone because of my condo. I had a beautiful condo. I had a beautiful swimming pool, gym. I had a jacuzzi on the 53rd floor, view in CN Tower and everything else. I had a beautiful car. I was financially secure to change one beautiful car every 3 years to another beautiful car every 3 years. So for somebody like me, I cannot live in the room with 20 other people. I'm sure if you're watching my video and if you're following me for a while, you know always I stay in good hotel because it's not me, because I cannot adjust myself like that. So for these people that picking that content and say, oh yeah, come here and then you leave with $1,000, this is for the places that is moldy and far from the beach, far. For example, if I live next to water, next to beautiful places, why would I go and live middle of nowhere? Yeah, you can live middle of nowhere and you can eat noodles every day and do absolutely nothing and have $1,000 budget. But if you had a certain type of lifestyle, you had a lifestyle to drive from Toronto to New York City just for pizza. If you had a lifestyle that, you know, you couldn't afford to have a nice pizza, nice burger, nice steak, going to nice seafood restaurant. You cannot eat noodles every day. You cannot eat local food every day. You can't. You can't. So, but unfortunately, these people living here for a while, 7, 8, 10 years. So maybe the lifestyle that they had back home, it wasn't good. You know, living in the basement, not making money, minimum wage. So for this person that used to live in the basement of apartment or somewhere dark, no light, no nothing, if come and stay in somewhere in Vietnam, Thailand, in a moldy place and middle of nowhere, that's, you know, that's the same thing. You know, you're not adjusting your lifestyle. It's the same shit. You know, you used to live in the basement in Toronto or Canada. Now you come in and you stay in the moldy place, disgusting, you know, the wall and the washroom and everything else. So you didn't change nothing. But you're gonna have a maybe even better lifestyle because you're coming from cold weather to somewhere that is sunny. You say, oh, well, I was staying in one room. Now I'm staying in the same shit. But if you had a nice condo, nice house, nice lifestyle, you cannot stay in that $200-300 moldy place. You can. You want a nice shower, you want a nice toilet, you want a nice room, you want a nice mattress, you want a nice internet. So what I'm trying to say, unfortunately, these people picking up that subject, and because people desperate and they think everybody, you know, want to save money, and especially now everybody wants to travel, and then people looking at that subject, oh man, this guy keeps saying I was here for staying 1,000, I'll move to another country and my budget was 1,000, I paid $200 for a room, this is per month. I paid this much for food and this and that, and I'm thinking, dude, like, come on. Regardless which part of Southeast Asia you want to be, if you want to have a decent pizza, and 1 or 2 drinks, I'm not saying expensive drinks, I'm not saying bottle of wine, just 1 or 2 beer, it's going to cost you $15 to $20 Canadian minimum. So if you want to have a burger, nice burger, it's going to be same. If you want a Western food, if you want something, if you want to go to the grocery store, regardless where, regardless in anywhere in Southeast Asia, and buy Western product. You know, you want a sun-dried tomato, you want a pesto sauce, you want a good cheese, you want a good pasta, you want a good stuff that you used to eat. Those things cost you fortune. So if you buy 1 or 2 times or 3 times a month those kind of grocery, you cannot survive with 1,000. Yes, 1,000 is eating noodle and staying in crappy places, and it's just like you don't buy clothes, nothing. You know, we are like, when I was in Canada, I'm not trying to brag about my life. I worked everything that I had. My father was a retired police officer. He didn't give me money, zero, zilch, nothing. The only money that they give me to send me to Canada, that's it. I never ever asked my parents for $0. I support them, but I never get anything from them because they didn't have it. You know, like turning Iranian currency to dollar is just like a nightmare. Like they had 3 other kids. So what I'm trying to say, I busted my ass. I put myself through depression for 27 years because to have a good life. So, you know, like if you had that life, you cannot come here and eat noodle and stay in moldy place and no shower or whatever, and the shower is whatever, and say, okay, I'm advertising $700, $800 lifestyle in Southeast Asia. Why I'm saying that? If you, because now there is a thing that everybody want to leave Western country to come somewhere sunny because of the cost of living and everything. Recently I was in Toronto. I went to grocery store 3 times because every single news that I was watching from Toronto and North America, oh, cost of living is very high. Cost of living is very high. First of all, the rent gone down, house prices gone down in Toronto, unbelievable. Interest rate is up. But the grocery store, I went with my friend Arthur, my good friend that I was staying, and I was keep telling Arthur, I said, Arthur, seriously, this cheddar cheese, 3 years ago when I was living here, it was the same price, now even slightly less. So you understand what I'm saying? So if you had a decent life and you able to go and buy the best salami, and you want to make really nice homemade sandwich, Italian sandwich for yourself, with the nice avocado and good cheese, and some spinach in between, and baby spinach, and pesto sauce, and good salami, and whatever. Yeah, you could. Well, hell yeah, you could. That doesn't cost, based on the standard of life of, if you're making good money. But here, if you're budgeting yourself with $1,000, and if you want to make that sandwich in home, hell no, it's going to cost you more than your country. Seriously, it's going to cost you more than your country. Because yesterday I was in Big C supermarket, guys, in Poton, and I went. There is limited cheeses here. Unless you find a really special store, still there is a limited cheeses, guys. Like, I went to the most fanciest supermarket here that they have a Western food. They have maybe 5 different type of cheeses. But like, if you are used to that kind of lifestyle, that going to supermarket that there is maybe 1,000 different cheeses, no, you won't find it. And yesterday for example, I was in Big C and I was looking at some of the cheddar cheese, and I bought one cheddar cheese. Teeny tiny, I don't know where was that brand. And because people not buying this product here, you don't feel even if it's safe, because it was sitting there in the shelf, I guess, because when I was touching the cheese, it was like a melted kind of things. So I had to find one in the back that is more hard, because I thought maybe, this cheese is sitting in the shelf, God knows for how many months. So, and I bought that cheese, teeny tiny, I don't know how many grams is. Taste, not the perfect taste, but based on here standard and what I can find, okay, not bad. If you're craving some good cheese, you can, deal with it. But this is not the best cheese that I used to eat, because I love cheddar cheese, especially old white cheddar cheese. And I used to buy really different brand and different stuff. I love it. I love cheese. So, yeah, I had it. It doesn't even taste good. But I was looking at the price, and let me tell you guys how much I bought it. So I bought it for 239 baht, $10 Canadian. $10 Canadian. And I swear, if you go to Toronto now, you can buy better cheese than this cheese. Not the top, white cheddar cheese, old ages. You can buy it for $7. Because those cheap ass cheese in the supermarket in Toronto, quality wise, maybe 100 times better than this, and cheaper. So what I'm saying, don't listen to so many bullshit and vibes, guys. But so why I'm saying this, guys, just don't adjust your life, because you're going to regret. If you had a good life, if you have a good life and you can, manage to, have a good, decent life, yes. For example, in my case, I'm tired. I want to stay in one place and recoup and maybe get a little bit more motivated, because I don't want to move around. So I don't know even where I'm going to go next. You see that, guys? Like, every morning I get up in the morning because I lost my motivation, especially because I'm not getting any views. I'm not getting enough subscribers. So I lose my, I get, I get tired. And sometimes I have to pretend to be somebody else, and I don't want to do it. And so what happened was, like, every morning I get up and say, okay, I have to stay 2 more weeks here because I have to leave. My visa is over. Where? Every day I'm making the new decision, because I don't have that motivation. I'm thinking, okay, if I go somewhere, people not gonna watch there. If I go there, there's so many YouTubers, there's a lot of content. So what should I do? Like, that's why you feel like you're getting rock bottom, like when you don't have motivation, when, success is just not money. I really want to make some money on YouTube to support my travel, because I'm spending shitload of money from my savings, and that's the stupidest things. I didn't find this money on the street. I put my life on the line for 27 years. I put everything on the line. Why I don't have a wife? Why I don't have a kids? because I had one goal and one goal in my life, to be successfully financially, because I didn't have no other support system. I had to do it for myself. But spending all this money that I worked all my life is just the stupidest way. And I'm not dumb. So I built this YouTube channel and I thought, okay, maybe this YouTube channel can help me a little bit. But unfortunately, when you don't get the money from YouTube, when you don't get the views, when we don't get it, you get rock bottom, you get tired, you lose your motivation, because success brings motivation, like when I was in construction business, when I was building one house and when I was a successful project, I was getting motivated to buy another land or buy another bungalow and demolish it and build something, because I was getting motivated. I did it, I made the good money and busted my ass for 14 months, 15 months, middle of minus 40, minus 50, every day on the site, sometimes working like a dog, like an animal, from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10, 11, 12 o'clock at midnight to finish the project. I was a billionaire, to have all this free cash to do the construction. I was getting construction loan with 7-8% interest. So I had to do the project fast. Or when I was doing renovation and stuff like that, like I used to work like a dog, like an animal, like just to be financially secure, because I knew I don't have no other choice. There is nobody else here to help me, because I cannot go to nobody. Like these days, you cannot go to nobody for help. Like even I didn't want to ask, never ever, to my parents to help me financially, because I thought, they don't have it. They have enough for themselves in that age. So, yeah. So, and when I start, uploading video and stuff like that, first I thought, okay, this is not up to my character. I'm not one of those individuals can, do this. After that, I got used to it. And every day, it's just like anything else in life. You get better, you get better, you get better. You do different things. But the bottom line is, when you don't get that, a little bit of motivation, financially or a little bit of success, you get tired, you lose your motivation. You say, okay, maybe people doesn't like it. Maybe people cannot find me. There's a lot of bugs in YouTube platform. Yet last night I was trying to edit one of my video. I can't, because there's a lot of bugs. You have to send the email to them and takes them 2 days to respond. And they ask you some ridiculous stuff. Send me the screenshot, send me this, send me that. So I'm thinking, like, what kind of technician you are, or what kind of IT guy you are, that you're working in, YouTube. And when I'm saying I cannot edit my video and you cannot find the problem. But if you go to your app, every single day you have to update your app or anything on for YouTube. Seems to me they have a lot of bugs, a lot of things, because some of the video is just getting top. Some people, you just, they don't bring you up, because all in their control, man. I believe it, because as I said, there's a guy that I really like, no name, no nothing, but the guy is very successful. He's doing unbelievable, and he's a business minded, but he lies a lot. He lies lots. He goes middle of dangerous part of Brazil, and he says, oh, you cannot walk here, nobody cannot walk here, and I'm gonna go with my camera and I'm gonna go deep to the mafia or the drug cartel. That's bullshit. Come on, man. Who are you? You're fighting with the Brazilian mob? You gangster? Are you kidding me? Like, you cannot even go close to that kind of places, but he does it, and people watching, people believe in it. I think that's so dumb that people believe that he goes middle of Brazil favela to the worst favela that even the police cannot go, and I'm going with my camera. Are you kidding me? You cannot even fucking walk on the street with your camera because everybody looking at you. Like, just hold one camera if you don't believe me, your phone or whatever. go to the public, especially camera. Phone people got used to it, but with camera, everybody looking at you. So I don't know how this guy with his camera holding in front of his face, he goes to the most dangerous favela in Brazil that even police cannot go, but he goes there and he films. It's bullshit, but people watching, who cares? He finds a way to fool people, and it seems to me people are loving it, loving the shit. Because every single video, and he goes and drinks beer and cuts his hair, and he gets 2 million views. I did the same thing, I get 0 views. You know, that's the bottom line. You know, I did a lot of haircut, nothing. You drink beer on the street, you copycatting, nothing. So you see that, what I'm saying, some of the content are just in YouTube control. They just push that. And when you have a lot of views and a lot of subscribers, obviously YouTube, it just focus on those guys. That's it. I totally believe it. Maybe they say, no, that's not honest platform. And yeah, no, I don't believe that. I really don't believe it. You know, if you go and if you want to educate yourself on YouTube, how to be successful, there is million guys. Change your title, change this, change that. Sometimes I'm looking at these YouTubers that they have 1 million views, and if you see the title, no description, no title, no nothing. I went to the jungle, boom, just this. I went to the jungle and they have like 2 million views. And when you are unsuccessful and when you not getting any help, and then day and night you're thinking, oh, let me change my title from this to this. You go to the chat GPT, you go to this to find the best CEO friendly title. You do all this bullshit and none of them works. So you see what I'm saying, guys? Sometimes it's just not in your hand. It just controls by the big boys, and the big boys in what I'm doing in YouTube hands is not me. So they can push your content, they can put you down, you know, like. So what I'm saying is just too tough to be successful, because now there's a lot of even family, you know, like they used to travel, now they have 2 kids and still traveling. But how many of us successful? That's the problem. Because be honest with you, like if I cannot make any money, like what is the purpose, you know? Each video takes half of your day to go film, come. For those guys that doing editing, fancy editing and music and all these things, obviously those guys paying somebody to do it. But some of them, if they're doing it by themselves, they sit in front of computer maybe 3 days. You know, editing this, removing this, putting this music. So it takes a lot of time. In my case, I don't do that. I just upload whatever. But the bottom line is, even in my case that I upload everything raw, there is absolutely no editing. You know, to come here, film, go back, take a shower, sit in front of your computer with a slow internet. Obviously, hotel internet is not perfect. Upload the video, yada, 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 yada. It's just like half of your day. And when you're making 0 or you get yellow icon from YouTube, you know, you say, okay, what the hell I'm doing? You know, like, you know, it just, unfortunately, I don't want to give up, but I have to really sit and think twice. You know, maybe I have to stay somewhere for a long time, you know, 6 months or 1 year. I'm a little bit tired of moving around. I'm really tired. Like, I want to have basic life. You know, my own kitchen. I can cook for myself. I'm sick of eating outside every day. You know, like I want to do that and rethink about everything. You know, sometimes you have to stop stuff and just rethink about everything, you know. Yeah, so I thought to discuss with you guys because I love every single of you guys. And if you're watching my video, unfortunately, some of this stuff that you see, I'm just trying to be dead honest. I'm sure you guys know that I'm very honest. Some of this stuff I'm pretending I'm just doing somebody else to be more successful. I'm acting, you know. What can I do? I'm copycatting some people and it's just not working. But that's what I don't like. I hate it. Every time that I did it, I hate it. Hate it. Like I'm thinking, I'd rather to not have a view but be myself and just film what I wanted. But in the other hand, you do that, you see no views, no support, no nothing. Anyways, guys, so this is beautiful Freedom Beach. Now there's a couple of more people showed up. This is one of the most beautiful beach. So if you're coming to Patong, if you've never been to Freedom Beach, you owe it to yourself to come here. You owe it to yourself. But in the other hand, you need to be prepared. Don't come here like a big, like with the flip-flop or whatever. Have a big pack, bring your sneaker and flip-flop. So just come all the way down with your sneakers because it's much easy, and then change it to your flip-flop. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys like it. I love every single of you guys. I'm sorry if I do or say something that if I'm saying something that you don't like it, I'm sorry. Like, I don't wanna, what happened? Yeah, so sometimes, yeah, you do something that maybe everybody doesn't like it, but as I said, sometimes you have to put the act, you know. I don't want to keep lying, but sometimes you want to pretend to be somebody else, but it just is the wrong things to do. You should be yourself all the time, regardless. So from Freedom Beach, guys, lovely Freedom Beach, goodbye. And my second video is going to be my journey that when I'm going back. So this is maybe for some people that interested how to get here, you know, walking all the way from the main road up there to here to Freedom Beach, because this is not the easy access beach, guys. This beach is not easy access beach. But promise me, if you come here, you're going to love it. This is the most private, loveliest beach. Today is dead, but usually more people, but generally it's not crowded, you know, it is not. There's only few bars. Now even nobody approach you for the, what is that, sunbed or drinks. Sometimes they come and ask you if you want a sunbed. Today even there's no sunbeds, nothing, because there's not enough people. Even all those few bars are closed. There's only one of them here open. The rest is closed, guys. So from lovely, beautiful Freedom Beach, goodbye, guys. And if you could, just like, support, write the comment. If you don't want to write the comment, just say thank you, hello, because that helps to grow the channel. You know, like, whatever, how are you? Like, put something, you know, just small things, because that helps. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Please keep watching. And I have a serious thinking that I have to do about my life, about the future of this YouTube channel and future of my life, to find the best possible way, because I cannot keep spending like this. Anyways, guys, thank you. Keep watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.